Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Punish Your Crew. Space Haven, here on Not Your Professional Walkthroughs channel with me, your host, Max. So, in the last episode, we started to turn things around after we were able to get finally a couple of tech blocks, which allowed us to craft some blueprints and make some machinery on board of the vessel. And that is now allowing us to create certain stuff. For example, you can see that right now I'm in the process of turning raw chemicals into normal chemicals, which I will then use to create fertilizer. Because sure, we do have the recycling machine, but you can see that it only puts out a portion or a fraction of the output that we need in order to keep these growers, or these what are these things, grow beds with lights, going. So this is what I will need to focus upon. It still seems like we have a tiny bit of scrap left here on board of these two ships, so we will transfer those on board of our vessel, and then we will try to make it to the other system. Now, I was thinking that maybe I will go and clear out the derelict ship, or maybe at least mine out some of these resources like the ice and the base metals, but there are these two sectors where I really want to get to, and we will have to eventually start preparing our ship for the potential hyper jump. So that will require the hyper sleep chambers, and currently we are doing research on arcade machine. After that, we're gonna do medical beds because we will require those, and after that we can do the hyper sleep chambers. So our entire botany tech tree has been researched. The augmentation is probably one of the last things which I will focus upon if we will even get there. Industry has been completely researched because we will require the advanced assembler so that we can be combining the infra blocks with the optonic blocks to get tech blocks, and the infra blocks with the energy cells so that we can get energy blocks. This means that we will require access to certain resources and ingredients that will allow us to process some additional stuff, yada yada yada, you know the drill. So we have plenty of scrap to be recycled, but because we're still 2 crew members down, technically speaking, due to, well, let's face it, I kind of killed my people because I'm an idiot a couple of episodes back. So if you have not seen it, the playlist is featured in the video's description. I kind of always need the views, so I will only appreciate it, and any feedback will be also appreciated as well. So with that said, the plan here is to wait for this ship to be broken down, and if we would be able to create those fertilizers, I'm thinking I might switch this like so, and after that go back to the raw chemicals. Then we can try to mess around with making some potential plastic that can be used later down the road to create some potential stuff like weapons and so on and such. And then we can create, for example, some medical supplies. And for IV fluids, it's gonna be a little bit more trickier because we do require actually fruit. So because we have constantly shortage of food on board of the ship, it's something which I need to make sure that we have a steady process or steady access to. So that is why having access to water and having access to the fertilizer is going to be crucial. I still believe that I will require additional composter just in case I will want to process more of the biomaterial, or in case I would have a crap ton of human meat or crawler corpses or something like this, so that we can dispose of it and we can remove it from our inventory and turn it into more reasonable. I'm also trying to understand how the hell do I move all this stuff from these 2 storage units away towards these 2 so that this is not occupying such a crucial space, as I'm thinking that eventually a 3rd hyper drive will need to be installed over here. and I'm gonna try to somehow separate this industry sector from the other sectors. Maybe I will have to expand a little bit the space for these bunks so that there can be a little bit more stuff. Maybe like a chair such as this would help to improve the overall quality, and maybe install like the air vents so that the air can flow through all of these, so that we don't have the potential risk that the CO2 will be accumulating over here, because that can create a whole bunch of problems for our crew members. Will we have a ship visiting our sector? Does not seem like it. It seems like they primarily tend to focus around this sort of central circle. So if we would directly get to this derelict, or if we would get to the ice and the base metal region, we might be able to do so. And I was thinking we're gonna go towards this blue sun over here, and then we can try to do something with the yellow sun region over there. So we're gonna see. I'm still waiting for the last remaining bits and pieces. I really don't want to leave the infra scrap behind, because the infra scrap, believe it or not, is turned into infra blocks. So 2 of the infra scrap gets us 1 infra block, and because the infra blocks are used for the growth beds and plenty of other stuff, eventually even in the advanced processing kit, it's used to turn the infra blocks into the tech blocks. It's gonna be kind of important, so that's why I want to make sure that that can be accommodated. Maybe we will push out the toilets a bit further out, and we will be able to then expand the kitchen, give our people more places to sit, maybe give them more jukeboxes. This is actually... the jukebox is supposed to be yellow. It's the arcade that's meant to be like bluish, but maybe there's some variations to this stuff. NRGM is running low. Yeah, I'm well aware of it. But at least we're able to keep refining the Hyperium into the Hyperfuel, and that can be sold for quite a decent profit. Looks like the fertilizer... why are you making the plastic which is at the end and not make the goddamn fertilizer, which I so desperately require right now? Item fabricator, this is where we create weapons, so we need steel plates and plastic. We can go into that. Then we're going to be able to research laser weapons, bulletproof vests, remote controls, enslavement facilities. I don't have any experience with the enslavement, so I will probably not mess around with that too much. Weapons console, sure. Shield console, sure. We'll eventually have to get to all these additional blueprints. The power generator, sure, we can go with that, but there are gonna be all these additional requirements on the workbench, so we will see how that will proceed. So medical bed is currently being researched, so at least we will have the supplies in case something would happen. And soon enough, our people will have to go to sleep. I swear to God, I've like tried to play this at the base game speed, but it just takes so freaking long. Like this is the problem. Like when you are playing games like Timberborn and other titles where you have to manage the resources and try to make sure that your people are well satiated, they're taken care of, they have access to the basic necessities and everything. Having to go super fast can be really bad, because if you screw up, it might be hard to bounce back from it. So let's say we completely run out of Energium, and we will have the energy rods, right? The benefit here is that we will have for a while some power thanks to the power generator. But unless we get access to additional Energium, and based on my experience with this sector, there's just not that much of it left. We're gonna be stranded unless we would come across another ship that would be able to exchange the crystals with us, and I really don't like selling the hyperfuel for raw materials, so definitely gonna try to do something in order to get that stuff done. So what are you doing right now? Why are you changing the priority of the items which I'm giving you to process. Like, we are missing a crap ton of this stuff, so I'm gonna try to put like high priority on all these growth beds so that we can actually make sure that this is properly taken care of, because food is just really necessary. So I'm trying to push it as much as I can before we almost reach the 3rd tier. But it's really like close up there. So I'm really hoping that the refined fertilizer will help us get to this thing. And yeah, like somehow separating the navigation and everything would be nice. But I really would love to find some derelict ship with additional crew members. It would definitely help us out. We're gonna have to make a jump for another system, if I like it or not. I really don't want to end up being stranded here. Okay, it looks like only the hull scrap is like the last remaining stuff on board of the ship. So we're gonna start preparing for the hyperdrive or the hyper jump before everyone goes to sleep and we end up stranded here. So where do we go? I'm dead set on mining out the ice and the base metals, and then we can theoretically make jump, 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 jump. It's gonna be trickier afterwards, but after we mine out these two resources, I have high hopes that maybe a ship will either arrive to the sector or something will happen, but we definitely do require ice so that we have water for the plants. So let's make some of that stuff happen. And I would really love to build another one of these pods. So pod hanger. The thing is that I was like initially planning on relocating the pods, but you need to build one in order to relocate the already existing pod. So if I would move it over here, for example, and this thing requires 1 tech block, 2 infra blocks, and 1 hull block, we could start to relocate these pods over here, and I would be able to have like 3 of them potentially. And for now, we're gonna have 1 shuttle, the Barracuda. That's a cool name. Yeah, the Energium, almost completely out of it. Really not that thrilled. Seriously, why do you insist on making plastic and chemicals when I seriously need the goddamn fertilizer? I'm just gonna like scrap the rest of this stuff and just let them make the goddamn fertilizer. Because that's what we will require to have stockpiled. We're officially out of Energium, so the problem is we also don't have energy rods. I'm seriously screwed here. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna relocate the pod over here. And then we can dismantle this thing. But I will seriously need to jump soon. So I don't think we will be able to mine out these 2 regions. Maybe we can go to the other region, see if we can come across Energium, or see if we can come across a ship that will sell us the item. And then we will be able to come back and mine these resources, because we do have water. So I'm not really that concerned about this. Okay, so let's cancel it. It seems like we might have someone left behind. And I don't really want to do that. So let's cancel the 2 mining operations. Still, goddammit. We're gonna have to cancel this, and I'm gonna try to reinitiate. Okay, so he's just trying to relocate it, so okay. And now we can theoretically move this over here. So they will just decommission the pod, and that can be done while we are preparing for jump. I hope. God damn it, I hope so. Jump. Okay, so I'm looking for a ship to trade with. Please tell me you're gonna stay here and we will be able to establish a trade for Energium. I need this resource, like yesterday. Do they have the blue crystal? Of course they don't. So instead I will need to buy the energy rods. And I will have to sell the hyperfuel, but I'm selling 5 and getting 10 in return. I really hate the fact that they don't have the raw resource. I'm already growing stuff, so I don't really care that much about it. They don't have the tech blocks, which sucks. And so I don't really see the reason for me to try and sell them anything else. Maybe I can... Yeah, you see, like, getting hyperfuel would cost me 2,000 credits alone, so that's just ridiculous. I don't need a pistol. Infra blocks, we're gonna be able to make those. And so, yeah, let's just see if those rods will be enough. We're getting connection from the ship. Our mission is to proceed with something, blah, blah, blah. I don't really care. Give me the stuff that I requested, or we are royally boned. After this energy rod runs out, the power core or the power generator will not be able to power the ship. And so again, the life support, the grow beds, everything is gonna shut down. We're gonna lose all of our crops. And that would be just really upsetting. So please tell me that we can get this stuff ASAP. And that is gonna supply us with the energy that we require in the meantime. Let's make more chemicals so that we can make more fertilizer. Because we have only 3 in stock, and that's just not gonna keep everything growing as I need it to. We are growing the grains and hops. That's okay. We're making the artificial meats. I'm gonna have to remove these fibers probably and focus more on the fruits and whatnot. 3 nuts, 1 fruit, 1 root vegetable. Like, I'm gonna try to switch so that I'm growing in one of these large growth beds just root vegetables, in one of them just nuts, in one of them just fruits, and in one of them just the artificial meat. This is gonna give me access then to 5, 5, 5, and 5, and that can create a bunch of meals. Okay, seriously, can't you, goddammit, like, move this goddamn thing? We do have the energy rods, but I will have to be on a lookout for another... You see this? This is what's pissing me off. Like, there was a ship just moments ago in the sector, so we could have theoretically stayed there. But we're gonna get another ship to come in, so my hopes are that they will have the energy rods. Or potentially the Energium, so the hyperfuel will be able to be exchanged in order for us to get our hands on the raw resource that we so desperately require. We are low on the base metals. This is why I wanted to get to the base metals as well, because as you can see, we have only 1 left, so theoretically here we can make like 5 more electronic components, but it's not really that healthy for me to have a overall abundance of that resource and not be able to utilize it for anything appropriately. So that would be just pointless. We're gonna get 247. And yeah, so this is gonna be first trade. And maybe I can sell them the human leg. I kind of don't need that junk right now, so we can just get some money for that. And this is gonna keep us sustained for a while. But trying to think, because if we would get the raw energium, it would provide us with a more sustainable way to create the energy rods. Logically, right now we're running on those. Our power plant is not using the raw resource as the initial blueprint does, but we're gonna have another ship come into the sector. So it looks like a lot of them are coming in through here. But I would still love to mine out that ice and everything. And so my plan is to move this mining pod over here and then build additional mining pod right next to it. So this way we can have 3. So that means that the ships, like the derelicts, would be broken down faster. And also mining out the resources would be done a little bit faster as well. Half of the crew would therefore be able to remain on board of the ship, while the other half would be able to do whatever is necessary. Please tell me you have the freaking blue crystals. Damn it, everyone has just the energy rods. Well, at least I have such a highly valued commodity that I can sell, because we have a surplus of the Hyperium, or what's it called? So let's go ahead and make that trade. This is gonna keep us well supplied for a time. And here's the problem, like nobody is doing these jobs, focusing on them. I don't know if they're still bottlenecked by me setting up the high priorities on the growth beds or something, but we definitely need to have these things processed, otherwise we're gonna be totally screwed. I wanna recycle all of this, and we have like a crap ton of stuff as is. So getting fertilizer and chemicals, someone fix this thing please. You seriously could maybe benefit from having a robot around, as the robots tend to move the resources from point A to point B. Relocate to here. That's gonna be done. This can be therefore dismantled, and these resources can be moved over to this location. Is there another trade which we would be able to conduct? I don't know if I need the Hyperium. We still have like 20, and those 20 can be turned into quite decent profit. But what I can sell here is the fabric for quite the decent chunk of change, and we can just process the additional fibers into like more into more fabric, and then later we can turn it into like the soft blocks or something. And because they're struggling so much to just do this one job, I'm absolutely terrified of what would happen if I would tell them to move the toilets closer to, let's say, the chemical refinery. Because if they would be completely without the crapper, I just don't know if they would all just crap their pants. And so I would prefer to avoid doing something like that. You have 1 energy rod. Why do you even bother coming into the sector with crap like this? You are not a good trading vessel. You don't have the stuff that I so desperately need. Maybe we're gonna have to reduce the priority on these jobs to like 5. So it's still high on the priority list, but it will not bind them so much to the task itself. Because they're not even like moving all the resources to where I need them to move it. Build a craft for me, please. So that will require infra block and electronic component. So that's okay. And my hopes are that we will be able to move maybe some of these items around, so that the ship looks a little bit nicer. swear to God, you guys need to bring more better resources to the table. I'm glad that there's so many of them coming here, but I'm also not that happy that they don't bring the stuff that I need. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have 24 energy rods. We have absolutely no energium, so if we would be not using this power plant, we would be absolutely boned. But also I cannot rely on just the resource or the stockpile which I was able to accumulate through the trade alone. We're still waiting for water to be refined here. We're making all sorts of fancy stuff. $56, so that's equal. Nice. We can make 5, we can make 5, we can make 10, we can do 0, we can do 0. And again, off to the bed. So 3 mining vehicles have been established. I'm really hoping that there's gonna be some goddamn energium in this sector, or I'm gonna go a little crazy. But we're gonna need to find some space for the hyper chamber beds as well. Currently we would require 6, but I would like to have at least like 7 crew members or something, so that we can actually make this thing happen. I'm thinking if I would be able to... How much would I need to? That's 3 tiles. That's quite a lot. For another sofa, I would have to like demolish this whole thing or move it all the way almost to the large power node so that we can accommodate a kitchen extension. Or I would have to change this space over here to make it into additional kitchen space. I have also seen that someone has done basically a concept where, and it looked absolutely amazing. So the concept was that there were on both sides these little bunks. They were larger. They did also accommodate one of these chairs to help improve the overall comfort levels, and there were much more plants on the walls, and in the middle there was like this kitchen space where everyone was eating, and they were using these chairs with tables, and so it was like a large living quarter. And imagine like space this size, right? Like the front part of our ship, and basically on like the sides there were these bunks, and in the middle was like this recreational area with the kitchens, the beverage maker, and like the algae dispensers. It looked absolutely amazing, absolutely amazing. Yeah, we need to keep moving stuff around, that's for sure. I'm thinking I'm gonna get ready to jump, because unfortunately nobody brought any resources here into the sector that I did want. So we're gonna go back here, and we're gonna this time mine out that ice and those base metals. And so we will require only now the noble metals. That's the word I'm looking for. And those should help us with being able to craft some additional stuff. 24 energy rods. Logistics. Yeah, we need to assign... How the hell do I assign people to logistics? Priority 10. So one person is responsible now for logistics, I assume. And that person should theoretically not be responsible for making stuff. Ain't you supposed to be responsible for logistics? Man, come on. Like, we are literally stuck here on some of this stuff. I'm hoping that we will be able to fill in these two and remove these two. We'll just make it that much nicer. Plenty of supplies right now, but we're still missing artificial meats. So soon we will have some accessible, which will improve the overall quality of the meals, but I do need more space for them to do stuff at. Okay. So why is nobody mining anything? Why is everyone going back to sleep? Okay, can you please do stuff? Unmanned task. Yeah, nobody's mining. I'm like kind of realizing that. Priority 1? Why is it priority 1? If it's priority 1, why is nobody manning priority 1 task? Now we're missing also root veggies. 96, so, or 91, sorry, 87, 26, 99 root vegetables are gonna be done here. So we're gonna gradually start switching these growers to focus on something specific. How many hull blocks do we have also? 11. Okay. And are we... We're like almost at the edge here. I'm like trying to figure out how to accommodate this. These two can still remain focused on like doing this stuff. This one is already focused primarily on the fake meat, so that's okay. And these two will have to be replaced by actual food for consumption. And I just want to know that these will have to be dedicated to specific crop. So this one will be switched eventually to just growing, once these two fruits are done, to just root vegetables. So once these two have been collected, and this one can be focused on nuts and seeds. This one is gonna get the roots. Someone will have to do the fruit. Someone will have to do the fruit. Nuts, that's okay. The roots are gonna be replaced. One of the artificial meats has been changed. I seriously don't understand how are you growing artificial meat from soil. I think like the fake burgers or what's it called? The name of those oh man, what's the name of the company? It's escaping me. Like they make the beef patties or the fake beef patties from like beetroots or something like this. So that can be interesting. Okay, so this one is dedicated to root veggies. This one is gonna be dedicated to nuts. And this one can be a mix, and this one can be dedicated to fruits. And this one can be fiber. This one can be hops for now. Eventually, once we expand the size of the hull, we would go for more growth beds. One dedicated to just the fibers, one dedicated just to the grains. But first, I want to make sure that we actually do have a steady supply for the kitchen when it just comes to basic necessities. Then I can be messing around with the potential of doing some additional stuff. We're gonna get some fertilizer because I have no idea. Okay, we have 4 fertilizers. And we have a decent amount of water. We did obtain some ice in this region. So the ice has been mined out. The base metals have been mined out. Lucky, lucky, lucky. Good for us. So we're not gonna stay here too long. I don't see the reason for it. Oh crap, there's like a pirate ship or something. Gotta be careful about those. Gotta be careful about those. Base metals sound interesting. I believe this was the derelict ship where they had the haulers, or what are those things called? So I want to jump here. And my hopes are that there's gonna be Energium somewhere, because I gotta go to this sector. We are jumping quite a lot. Holy shit, this is a resource-rich sector. I'm loving it here. We're definitely dropping over here. So there are derelict ships, there are ships that are potentially able to be claimed, and I want it all, but I seriously need to get the energium so that we can make more of the energy rods. There's just no joke about this stuff. And we're gonna have to do something with the small derelict guy, but first it's the mining operation. So 3 of these pods are gonna be able to work a little bit better. This one is utilization. I'm not sure why that is set up like it is. Temperature seems to be... Okay, we have increased temperature over there. So we're gonna have to put down life support and the thermal regulator over here by the crops. Yeah, because you see, we have just lost the entire goddamn artificial meats due to the temperature situation. So let's put this on high priority on list of tasks. Yeah, we're losing more crops. Damn it! Stop it! It's not funny. Can someone freaking install the goddamn thermal regulator up on that wall? Did it? Is it there? Nobody installed the damn thing yet. Install it for love of God or I'll lose all the stuff. We cannot keep... I'm quite sure I must have lost quite a lot of these artificial meats because of this temperature BS. I'm not sure if it's due to the size of the sun or what's suddenly causing the spike in the temperature here. But we definitely need to have this addressed. So someone build it for the love of God. Robot storage. Okay, robot storage would be actually nice. And we have 2 ships which have entered the sector. I don't know. Do you have... Yes, you do. So I'm gonna sell you... We're gonna take all 4. And we're gonna still make some profit here. And, ooh, wow, holy crap, 13 of them. God damn, that's actually pretty damn impressive. I don't know. Maybe 3, 4. Theoretically, if I want to make more money, I can sell them the grains. So I'll do that. So that's 2 trades already. Someone, for the love of God, finish this goddamn construction job. Thank you. Still, temperature is unbearable for you? Should be doable now. Okay, so now just someone has to come back and start growing all this meat at once. Ah, we did suffer some casualties. That sucks. That does suck. We're gonna switch you to the nuts. And over here, we're gonna have that mixture. And over here, we're gonna have, once these 2 are done, so someone should collect the nuts, please. Come on, I did set this up for some higher priority. Ooh, another ship. What do you have? What do you have? Right now, I don't need energium because it's here in the sector. Fertilizer we do have, so I don't see the need for that. Getting the meals themselves, I don't know how I feel about that. Can theoretically make a trade for 1, maybe 2. I can sell you some fabric as well. Make profit so that we have those credits. The reason also why I kind of want to have credits is, and this is just totally weird from me, maybe, but what I want to do is make sure that in case we would come across pirates, we can cease fire. And if we don't have the weapon system installed yet, And this would allow us to bribe the pirates to not destroy us, leave us the hell alone, and that is the potential saving grace. Having the resources to be able to tell them to F off. Politely, of course. Without them having the need to shoot at us. So I'm gonna recycle that. Water. Fabric. At least now we're gonna get all the meats almost at the same time. We did lose a bunch of growth on the grains and hops, but you have to keep in mind that when you are researching the food tech tree, there is that 10% boost in your growth rate. So it's not as bad as you think it might be. But having all these resources over here, that is kind of upsetting. Robot storage would be kind of nice. Maybe if we can allocate it over here. Those two bodies can be dropped off in here and they can be actually accounted for. And I would like to take a boarding party and go on board of Mass Andromeda Chain, whatever name or whatever. And I really need to also deal with the crappers and expanding the kitchen. So, who's got what weaponry? I do understand that if I'll take 4 crew members, it will kind of hinder the overall production on board of the ship. But we do need to take a look if there is a potential new crew member, or if it's just heavily infested ship. Okay, so aliens straight out of the gate. More are coming. I'm just trying to be careful around this massive power plant, as that's telling me that there can be potentially a lot of energy blocks or infra blocks or something like that. So please don't try to damage the goddamn power plant. And if all of the aliens are gonna come our way, because the ship size is not that big, we might be able to clear it out rather fast. I would kill for a hyper chamber, so that we have that 7th crew member, as that would help us get the task accomplished a little faster. But we're not guaranteed that that can be the case over here. Wow, that's a large robotics facility. And that's the ship. So unfortunately, no new crew members, but my hopes are. Okay, Energium, nice. Some fertilizer. Soft scrap is medium, energy scrap is decent, hull scrap is decent, infra block, tech block, it's all accessible. So let's get it done. And I don't know, maybe when we bounce back to the sector from whence we came, we might be able to go and see some of those derelict ships that were left behind. And maybe on board of those, we might be able to get... Ah, crap. Yeah, that's a pirate ship. So the question is, okay, there's some bug where the ship is not somehow rendering in for some reason. They don't have a weapon system. But the problem is they can board our vessel and they can shoot up our crew. And we don't have access to bulletproof vests. So if they have better gear, I can lose some crew members here. So the question is, how the funk do we do this? I'll draft them. And I'll make them come to these places. I don't know where I keep the damn pistol. No. Are they going on board of the ship? That's making me a little fidgety, because I don't know what to expect here. A little bit afraid that this person is gonna get under fire or something. I'm not really sure what are they expecting to do here. They're gonna try to salvage the ship too. There are two places from which you can board the vessel. I don't know how many crew members do they carry. They do seem to be hostile, but thank God they don't have weapon system installed on board of their ship. If I would have weapon system on board of mine, that would give me a slight advantage. But right now, I don't know what the hell they're trying to do here. Looks like they're gonna try to salvage the ship as well. Fuckers. They're stealing my stuff. I don't like that. And everyone is sleeping right now. Great. And we're gonna get a friendly ship to enter the sector. So theoretically, they might be capable of chasing them away. I'm gonna leave this sector as is, so we will get to it at the end. I really want to jump over here. We have base metals, noble metals, derelict ship, ice, and energium or hyperium, sorry, for the hyperfuel. We're still light years away from having... Oh, well, we're actually quite close to getting the weapons console. So technically, I might actually cram some guns on board of this thing. See what would happen. Shish kebab, they have boarded the vessel. So we're gonna draft. Because nobody's stealing my shit. Problem is if they're gonna have bulletproof vests. Yeah. What were you guys thinking? You're now talking to Pirate Coalition. You won this one, but we will get you someday. Take crew as prisoners. Goodbye. Kill them. Kill them. Kill them. Question is, technically, if we would be able to board their ship and take all their shit. Someone please clean up all this mess. I was lucky because they did not have better armaments and everything. Weapons console is starting to look like a great idea, but also item fabricator. That would be great because then we would be able to start producing certain stuff. Do we have some freaking plastic? Really small numbers. Crap, crap, crap. Why the hell do you insist on doing this crap? Shit. Have to be careful with the HP here. These individuals sustain too much damage. Crap. That's our person with the shotgun. Don't kill her. Fudge! You guys destroyed my operating station or lab or something. Fucker. Receive settlement to Take crew as prisoner. Yeah, this is where the slavery might come in handy, as you can install the slave collars. Okay. So, goodbye. Fuckers, you have totally ruined me. Now the problem is I don't have the goddamn medical beds installed yet. Also, I don't have a room dedicated to this thing. And that's a big problem. I might have to sacrifice this room in order to create a medical bed or something. I have to de-draft everyone. And we are gonna try to install the medical bed. Hopefully they're gonna do this soon. I really need to fix all this stuff. Damn it to hell. Okay, can you stop researching crap and like fix shit? I need the medical beds. Stop pissing me off, goddammit, people. We would have still 6 beds. We could theoretically do 2 medical facilities here. So one like this and one like this. But they have to do this fast. Because I see some medical conditions and I don't like that. Theoretically, we do have services here. 4 hours, 17, 12, 9. They have 1 medical bed. Service capable 24 hours. Let's accept it. Can someone please clean up all this blood? So I'm glad we survived the encounter, but I'm not glad as to how it turned out. And I think we can decommission this ship, or we can claim it as our own. I mean, it is equipped to handle stuff. I just don't know if we would be able to grow stuff on board and so on and such. So once our Barracuda gets on board, we can see what can be done. And someone needs to seriously move all this crap around. Another ship. Yeah, this 1 medical bed won't do. We need at least 2. And I will definitely need to expand the hull. I think I will just decommission this place and just take all their shit on board of my ship. I'm just still not at the position where I would be able to have multiple ships under my control. I think building this 9.6 would help us out. We do have 16 and I need to process water. But we are like falling literally behind on just about anything and everything. So another person to have a medical procedure done, for which we have paid. This is gonna help us out for a bit. And if I can take someone to board the pirate ship. I do wonder how much crap can I get out of here. And the question is if there is anyone left on board of this ship. Seriously, like, decommissioning this type of vehicle seems like kind of a shame. I would especially love it if I can literally come across someone in a hypersleep chamber, but let's not, like, get real about this. There's not gonna be anyone. So The good news is the large cargo hold, which I see has energy rods, foods, and all sorts of other fancy stuff. I really hate the fact that the pistol is so easy to trigger here. They do have the communications array, which we don't have yet. You can go scavenge the toilet and whatever the hell is this room. Okay, that's like a little chamber. Okay, so the ship has been researched, and that's gonna be dedrafting, and we cannot claim it, so we're gonna salvage the living crap out of this. 64 items alone, and a huge quantity of resources, because until recently this was an active pirate ship. And we still need more crew members. And the question is, what's our cargo capacity? Yeah. I'm gonna be forced to install the other engine, because if I'm also expanding the hull size, we're definitely gonna need the third hyperdrive. Definitely. And I believe we do have the robots in here. So robotic workbench is able to recycle the robots into individual resources to like recycle them and so on and such. So that's awesome. Shield console, power generator, rocket turret, energy turret. What does this thing do? Crap, that burns through a lot of power. This thing probably requires like the explosive ammo. So those can be like your space torpedoes or something. Scanner. Scanner does what? The scanner can partially reveal the interior of another ship. Seems like can be useful, especially when it comes to the derelicts. Logistical robot station. So this thing will be able to help us out quite a lot. So I definitely want to get that done. And salvage robots, yeah, sure, let's go. Robots can be helpful. They might be the additional crewmen that we so desperately require. I'd be able to accommodate this. Do we have the tech blocks? Still have like 4. I'm quite sure we're gonna get some decent stuff out of this ship. I mean, there's just a crap ton of stuff on board. We just don't have the numbers. So I'm thinking, how the hell are we gonna do this? Shield console, very nice. They were able to rebuild the research thingy, so that's great. I'm gonna go with like another... I cannot build it here like that, because then they would not be able to access the hyperdrive and put in the fuel. So the only way I see this being done is potentially building it like so. And if I would build the storage over here, then no. Might be forced to do this, or maybe I will have to build it somewhere over here. It's just literally killing me because I'm trying to move out all these items from these 2 storage units, and it's just not going that well. So there's just way too many tasks right now given to my crewmen, and they don't know what to do first. I'm gonna probably decommission this growth bed once we have the 2 grains. And we're just gonna keep on moving everything further away. Try to create like proper districts and whatnot. What could I use? I do have the Energium right now, so I'm super excited about that. You do have some decent money. I can sell you some fabric for some profit because I'm not gonna use it for anything right now. But do you guys have the tech blocks? I did not really pay attention. Fudge, you don't. Okay. Oh, never mind. That means that I will probably cancel all the recycling, all the smelting, all the chemical-induced nonsense, or maybe I'll just leave that stuff over there. Fabric manufacturing is gonna be postponed for now. Anything that I seriously do not need to process can be postponed potentially for later. I'm gonna be moving the growth beds. I'm just gonna try to change a lot of things at the interior of the ship. I'm not also crazy about this hull stabilizer being placed over here, because it creates this sort of dead-end hallway which does not really lead anywhere. And I would need to build like a door or something closer here so that they have access to the hallway here and everything. But at least we have one medical facility finally installed on board of the ship. Advanced power, basic power, it's all loaded up, but our situation with the storage is not helping. 64, we have 102, 147. How the hell is it possible that there's no how the hell is it possible that there's no possibilities? What I just realized I was about to say. How is it possible I cannot really gain access to even larger storage unit? I would kill for that. I know that 250 items in general, they don't look so massive. But right now, logistically speaking, we are kind of totally screwed here. And for some reason, it shows me that the... Oh, okay, it's behind the medical bed. Okay. But that's because the hull is being upgraded. But anyhow, we're gonna change things around here. So we have a lot of stuff to be processed in this sector. Still the two ships. There's just chock full of items. Still a lot of infra scrap. So for as long as I will be able to be here, I will try to milk this. Maybe I will shut up for 30 minutes or something, let them process this stuff, and we're gonna jump in time to when stuff has been processed or whatever, and see what can be done afterwards. I think it would be an interesting idea. Because normally I don't tend to jump forward in time, but we're like literally being bottlenecked by a crap ton of tasks which they don't know like what to prioritize first. So somehow having this addressed would probably be beneficial. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna shut up for a while and I will talk to you in some time. So stay tuned and yeah, let's see how this goes.
Day 2. Day 3. Day 4. Three weeks later.
Okay, so what I was able to do in the meantime is start to expand these rooms. I created a room where we have the navigational console, operational console, weapons console, and shields console. We have not yet, however, constructed shields or the weapons on board of the ship. I will still have to mess around with that tiny bit, and I will have to start relocating these growth beds and create some sort of dedicated space for them, as otherwise I will eventually run out of food. I mean, currently I have like 10 fruits, 12 nuts, and I got absolutely zero artificial meat or something, so that will catch up to me rather quickly. This whole ship has been literally taken apart, so that's great. I really wish we would be able to salvage that vehicle which they have left. That would be a cherry on top. But it is what it is. Once we have this last nut from here, we will have to create something new. I'm really hoping that this has created a nice accommodations, so we have some high comfort, while this region at the back of the ship is just absolute nightmare to work at. So maybe removing some of those things or being able to like put walls between them might help to not keep it so saturated with the discomfort levels. But I'm gonna try to separate this location of the ship so that we have like the living quarters, and then we're gonna see what can be done next. I still have to mess around with these rooms. This one will have to be decommissioned. We have one medical facility, which will not be enough for a crew of 6. And I'm really hoping we're gonna be able to eventually get to higher number. So what I'm gonna do in the meantime, if it would be possible, is get some of these meals, and I can try to pay it off with giving them the hyper fuel. If they would have some infra blocks as well, I would be ecstatic, but for now we're gonna leave it at this, and I'm gonna have to find some place for these growth beds. I have separated the laboratory, so we will put down like walls over here, so we have some little space over here. I'm thinking maybe I will put down one decorational plant or some nonsense over here, since we have the research workbench as is situated. I can put down like this floor lighting, so this should be all well lit. And if necessary, we will be eventually able to expand the seating. Right now we are able to accommodate 10, but there should be still room over here. Like, the worst case scenario is that I move these 2 jukeboxes towards this wall, and then I'll just put some additional seating over here. Like, I should be able to fit a table with 4 additional chairs over there. But first, of course, we need to prioritize some other tasks. Alrighty, so this room has been completely cleared out, so we have that additional space. We're gonna start to dismantle all of this stuff. Surprisingly, these guys were able to dismantle a large portion of this stuff quite easily, so I'm hoping that we will be able to move through this process and jump into another sector. I'm just trying to dismantle all of this here so that we can get it done. I'm trying to process stuff and do whatever can be done. In the meantime, do you have these blocks? Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, and we're gonna give you that fuel. And I'm just gonna try to... Okay, new research needs to be allocated. Power generator of the highest tier. I don't think we have haulers. We can try to go with the augmentation, or we can go scanner. Allows us to see parts of the ships. I'm not really sure if it's gonna be able to show us if there's potentially like the aliens on board when it comes to the derelict ships. It's probably gonna also depend on where we jump in the sector itself. But what I want to do is actually try to build the bunks and everything for these guys before they go to sleep, and that's gonna be quite soon. And if I would be able to move all of this elsewhere, like maybe over here, dedicate this space to that, I would have like a central hub for growing of food, and we're gonna require a crap ton of food. So I will need lots of growth beds and monitor their status. So temperature and all this other nonsense, I will have to keep a close eye on it because already we are running low on everything. And I want to make sure that we will have access to the basic necessities. So 2 of these, 2 of these, 2 of these, and 2 of these. That costs 4,390. That's almost all the money that I have accumulated over quite the decent period of time. So I'm gonna have to give them a crap ton of hyperfuel for that. But we still have a decent stockpile over here, so that's my hope that we will not run out. And I have constructed the fabricator, so we can now start getting the soft blocks, the hull blocks, and the infra blocks. But we will require primarily the infra blocks for creation of the tech blocks and energy blocks. And we're gonna get another ship in this sector. But I'm thinking that soon we will make a jump to this region over here. We have the noble metals, regular metals, Hyperium, ice, and a derelict ship. So this seems to be quite frequently visited region, so good to know. And at the end, when we will be deporting, we'll get the carbon, the chemicals, the ice, and take a look at the other ship if we want to break it down or whatever the hell we're gonna try to do with it. So, this is starting to be dismantled. This room over here will do the job. We just need to build in a couple of things, like the air vent. Put down a chair. And expand the wall. And then we can replicate the procedure with another bed so that they have place to sleep. We're gonna put down one of these. We're gonna put down like floor lighting or something. We're gonna put or give them a chair. And so yeah, it's like sometimes it can be like a broken record, but seriously, if the game catches you and catches you well, theoretically this wall can remain as is. 1 2 3 1 2 maybe. I don't know if I want to keep the rooms as large as over here. I mean, here I have gone a little too crazy. I think I will decommission this room and turn it into maybe a larger medical facility. These smaller chambers should work, theoretically. I also don't have unlimited space on board of this goddamn ship. So maybe down here we can accommodate the smaller squares. There's just a larger interior for them to enjoy. So they should still have the space for a bunk bed, a bedside table, a chair, and the air vent. And decoration can be added afterwards. Or I can try to keep it like here and keep it 3 times 3, but then we have some additional empty space which is not really being utilized. So I don't know, let's take a look. What would happen if we would expand this? Because I don't want to make it feel like it's goddamn prison for them, you know? So if I put this here, have to fill in this gap still. This would be much larger, much nicer in comparison to this cramped space. I think I'm gonna go with the cramped space though. Hate me for it, but I just can't shake this weird feeling. And if we get the food, that's gonna be awesome. So that's gonna keep us satiated for a while. We're gonna get the infra blocks. We still have a crap ton of energy blocks. We have lots of stuff. I wasn't able to figure out how the hell to transfer the stuff from these storage units somewhere else. I really want to make sure that we have enough of these beds for these people. So the comfort levels are... I still don't understand why bed is the thing which reduces the amount of comfort that's accessible. It makes so little sense to me. And somewhere here in the middle, if we can sort of maintain some sort of growing space for our food. I want to remove this wall just because I don't know if it will be necessary. These two toilets here, they're working for now. Maybe I will be able to replicate them to the other side. So theoretically, if I would keep this wall over here. And we need 3 times 1, 2, 3 for facility, such as this. We cannot build there. So we would have to first do this, build up the wall. Oh, there's light. So that needs to be dismantled, and that should allow me to build the crapper first. Can you imagine you would actually have to research the space toilet? That would be quite bad. And this is what I was afraid of, that they would end up sleeping on the floor. I don't like when that happens. So while everyone is doing this, I think we're gonna start getting ready for a hyper jump. We're gonna bounce to this region. There's more carbon, there's potential ship to be claimed. I really want to get in this sector. Seems like a great place to mine a crap ton of resources. We're gonna be smack dab in the middle of all of this goodness. And on the next episode, we will continue the adventure and see what's gonna happen. So overall, quite the improvement, I would say so. At least I hope so. Someone please agree with me. And yeah, if you want to know how this eventually turns out or what's going to happen next, then you know what to do. Quite sure you have heard the phrase a million times as is. And other than that, I'm going to wish you a pleasant rest of the day, and hopefully I will see you all in the comments or at the next one. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe out there in the meantime, and bye-bye for now. Maybe if I were to try to put it here, the whole stabilizer is gonna kind of mess it up for me, but I need to start growing my food soon or I will be in trouble. Okay, what if we... It's hard to let go of this game once it grabs hold of you. Man. I need to find some good spot for the agriculture.